we are what we eat. This is so true कि हम इसको ना we are not able to appreciate the phrase in terms of we are constantly being renovated our bodies. We're constantly being new cells are being formed every day, every single second of the day. They have different lifespans. The blood cells, red blood cells live for 120 days and others. The whole alimentary lining, alimentary canal changes within maybe 3 days. Skin, hair, many cells keep on renovating and forming. So actually the raw material is for these new cells from where they are being formed is what we eat. And the quality of food, the nutrition, what we are eating right now will decide what quality of cells, what quality of their DNA, what quality of their mitochondria will in turn be formed. तो जितनी भी बीमारियां हैं, all the diseases comes due to bad quality of this raw material which we are eating right now. So why are we so much stressing upon being vegan? And it is quite unusual from a regular point of view जो आजकल we are seeing in medical field कि high protein low carb diet लीजिए and take lot of supplements. You have to eat non-veg because आपका protein नहीं हो रहा. Indians especially they say कि vegetarian diet is lacking in proteins and vitamin D also, and some of the vitamin B12 also is, they say कि vegans cannot form vitamin B12 and they have deficiency. So why are we stressing upon vegan in the PROTSAHAN program? The reason is I will detail you each and every step scientifically so that your mindset changes and you start changing your pantries and you start changing your adjusting your familial biased thinking. जो they have means for conventionally they have been for years they have been thinking that without milk you cannot function, you cannot this thing means live healthily. So that is the main reason for today's session, to change the biased mindset we are having. So that is the precise purpose of today's session. Okay. So point wise we go. Actually what we are eating right now today is we are only counting the calories. Means we just eat to fill our tummies, and as the conventional wisdom says, जैसे बोलते हैं कि breakfast, lunch, dinner, उसके बाद बीच में snacks, teas, various kind of sugary drinks we take. तो ये हमारी conventional diet है right now. What we are doing is we are eating not according to our hunger or our body's need. We are eating as per the clock. So maybe our functioning, we are all living in a different we have different job profiles. Some people are very active physically, some people have a mental functionally mental acuity based jobs, so they are mostly sitting. So in that way the calorie need might be not be as per a person who is physically active, like I do regular exercise, yeah, I run almost 10 to 15 kilometers daily, so I will need more calories. And you are sitting and you are mainly focusing on your mental acuity, so then you will be needing lesser calories. So all of us should not be eating through the clock. It should be the diet should be regulated as per our needs, as per our functionality, as per our physical movement, and that is the reason various diseases are being formed. And the soul of all the diseases, mostly if you see, 95% of human diseases are directly or indirectly linked to insulin resistance, and that we have already covered in various webinars. I will send the link again. All of us, if you see your reports also, if you analyze your reports, all of you are in some degree of metabolic syndrome, which is driving you towards various diseases. And then we name those diseases like fatty liver, obesity, some insulin resistance. Some of you have already developed diabetes. So all those things comes together, and later on, as I said, these quality of cells which are being formed may turn into mutant cells and leading to tumors, cancers and autoimmune diseases also. So the metabolic syndrome is the soul behind most of human diseases, and this metabolic syndrome needs to be corrected. That is why the food you are taking is rich in calories but not rich in nutrition. and that is why 70% of population living in cities and even in villages now are deficient in vitamin D and B12 and many minerals also. Even your reports, most of your reports, if you see, you all are deficient in B12 and D to some extent, and some of you have low iron also, so the quality of red blood cell will not be as per the need of the body. Your oxygen carrying capacity will decrease. Now you can correlate and relate to the things ki how we are decreasing our nutrition in spite of eating well and many times a day. So that is where the shift comes: plant-based, whole food, and mostly raw. You There is a basic guideline I'm sharing. 1% of your body weight means if you are weighing 70 kg, at least 700 grams of your food should be raw in terms of food, raw fruits, veggies, green leafy vegetables, and 0.1%, that means 70 to 80 grams, should be raw green leafy vegetables, which can be spinach or anything. This is a general guideline I'm sharing with you. And if you consider the reports we have now, 70 to 80%, even 90% Indians do not eat this much. Maybe आप लोग तो we are eating this much of raw food or vegetables and fruits in a whole week, जो हमें एक दिन में खाना चाहिए. So that is where we are lacking in nutrition, and that is the shift to plant-based diet will do, because you are right now eating few things. Your staple food, if you see, will be milk, wheat or some form of grain, and mainly some potatoes is the staple food. So the staple food is coming from maybe some of you have taken non-veg and eggs also. So staple food, 70% of your calorie intake is from things which have no fiber, no vitamins, no nutrition except some calcium and some amount of vitamin D is there, which can easily be taken care without these things. Also, when you take animal protein, we'll prove you later with research papers also. When you take animal proteins, your body produces more toxins in terms of blood urea, nitrogen, even urea levels increases. That is why uric acid also increases. That is why people say decrease your protein intake if you have high uric acid. Then most of these things needs to be, most of the animal product is very bland, tasteless. So क्या होता है, we need to add savory or sugary things to make them palatable or edible. So we add sugar, salt and other things, spices, various kind of things. तो उससे क्या होता है, their sodium content, their sugar content, not knowingly हम बढ़ा देते. And that is where comes a whole, if you take a mango, if you take a apple, they all have their own tastes. You don't need to add anything to enhance their taste. Similarly, many of the vegetables have their natural tastes. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा कम हो जाता है sugar, salt का intake. So that is why we have to minimize these white things. The more colorful your plate will be, the more colorful and healthy your life will. So decrease the white things like sugar, salt and flour. Basically wheat based flour. That is why we stress more on millets. Dr. Garima will be joining you next week because she is traveling right now. She will detail you about your individualistic needs, and uske hisab se she will curate a diet plan for all of you. So no meat, no dairy products. I know this is initially a knee-jerk reaction for all of you. You will not be able to do it completely, but this is the first month we say adaptation phase. So decrease these products as much as possible. Maybe 70% you do that, 80% gradually increasing it. Also minimize your packaged and processed food. I know many of you are traveling due to various official works and limitations. You have to go for packed food or restaurant foods also, but in that case also we can change our choice of that. Means you can eat a raw salad, you can order a raw salad, or even in spite of taking a butter naan, you can take a plain naan. Instead of taking dal makhni, you can take dal tadka, or instead of taking a paneer dish, you can take something made from vegetables or mixed veg, etc. तो it's just about changing your mindset and taste buds, and the taste bud adjust very easily within 7 days. It's a proven fact. 3 days they start changing, and 7 days you can easily do that. Another point: what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. We are so busy in such a busy schedule, and we are always running lack of time. So what we do is we are eating, means the main purpose. They see all your body, as we said, all the cells are made up of what you eat, and we are eating mindlessly. Means mindful eating is the number core of this whole program. आप आराम से बैठिए. If you chew your food, you will see you will be fuller in less amount of food, even half the amount of food, and you will be healthier, and the digestion will improve. You will not feel any acidity, or if you chew it properly. So take out 15 to 20 minutes for a meal. You don't have to take many meals a day, but the meal you are taking, take it mindfully, relaxed manner में. Do not use these devices during when you are eating, because the emotions with which the food is prepared and the food is being taken has a very strong implications on your mindset, your anxiety levels, your calmness, your even the decision you make, daily critical decisions also have these effects. That is why बोला जाता है जैसा अन्न वैसा मन, and it has been in Vedic science also. They have divided in Bhagavad Gita. It is being divided into 3 types of food: tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. That is where it is not related to veg or non-veg. It is basically sattvic food is meant for Brahmins, because Brahmins, not like it's a caste system. Brahmins used to have a very mental acuity based lifestyle. They have to keep writing, reading, and all those things. That is why it has been advised to take sattvic food, which is a vegan food, which we are promoting, and we all are living the same lifestyle. Rajasic food is very highly spiced, very highly, means तभी उनको बोला जाता है कि राजाओं के लिए, those who were kshatriyas, those who were busy, their lifestyle is like fighting wars and they are physically active, they will need these kind of tamasic and rajasic food. So we are not doing that. So if you are interested, or if you are not able to decrease your dairy intake or even meat intake, you need to increase your physical labor then, and that is where the diseases are coming into picture. Or daily physical labor is decreasing due to our various innovations and various home products we are right now getting, and we need not move that much, which were earlier we used to move before 20-30 years say. And that is where suddenly there is a rise of metabolic syndrome and diabetes in exponential growth, and that is where we have to eat. And now comes how to eat. How to eat, we are saying कि आराम से बैठ के take it. I always say drink your food and chew your water. Means keep your water in mouth. आराम से बैठ के relaxed position में. You should not drink water while standing, because your kidneys and your internal organs, stomach, are at a relaxed, more absorbent phase when you are sitting in a relaxed manner. Also, when you keep your water in mouth, the saliva, which is an alkaline product, which has a lot of amylase and other carbohydrate digesting enzymes, will mix into your water easily. And जो आपको acidity की problem रहती है, you have to take Pan-D and Pantocid, other things, will decrease, because the alkaline nature of the saliva will be mixed in your water and goes into so that it will balance out the acidity in your stomach. So you will not be feeling hyperacidic. Number 1. Number 2, when you chew it properly, make sure that is what the phrase say, drink your food. आपको इतना chew करना खाना, because it is liquefied. So उससे क्या होगा, the molecular size will increase, means you will increase the surface area of your food, so that the digestive enzyme have more reach to digest them. They will digest them easily. You will put less stress on your stomach and digestive system, and they will easily be digested, so the constipation and other things will not be produced. When to eat? Now it is an important question. We eat like a clock. Eat only when you feel hungry. ऐसा नहीं है कि we have to eat breakfast. Definitely we will be using intermittent fasting as a protocol to you, for all of you, and we'll teach the fasting as a science. It will be a whole session in future weeks. So intermittent fasting we use because it is not necessary to eat breakfast all the time. You have to use intermittent fasting because intermittent fasting, when you fast, you take away those bad cells, those mutant cells which you have formed. You cut down your calories naturally. You use up your fat which is stored in your liver, and so the metabolic syndrome which we are talking, insulin resistance, start decreasing without doing anything. Means it's just such a beautiful fasting, such a beautiful technique. You don't have to work any hard anywhere. You just keep sitting doing your work, and you will save time eating also. तो आप अपने काम पे उतना टाइम लगा सकते हो, एंड देन also it will decrease the effort in your kitchen. So there are many benefits of fasting. Will decrease, some of you will have specific meal plans. जरूरी नहीं सबको 2 meals a day plan ही दिया जाए. Dr. Garima will see to that. And I always say we dig our grave with our teeth. Actually we are doing this. I'm saying what we are eating is the raw material, what our new cells are being formed of. So good fatty acid, good amino acid, good quality of proteins, plant-based proteins. Then you have a lot of minerals you need. Many cells need. See, magnesium is one important mineral. 96% of our enzyme activity is based on magnesium, and no one is talking about magnesium, taking magnesium. And हम सब calcium, we are taking supplements for calcium, but we are not focusing on magnesium. So magnesium is very essential, and most of the nuts, whatever nuts we use, any nut you name are rich in magnesium. Then come food transit time. You can do this because constipation, I always say C for cancer, C for constipation. If you trace down many cancer patients, mostly 90% of cancer patients do have developed constipation in recent years before they develop cancer. So constipation is one important thing to be taken care of. And if you eat a plant-based diet which have more fiber naturally, आपको कुछ अलग से नहीं ऐड करना है, you will naturally be having good bowel movements, and your toxins will be easily released through the bowel movements. And you can test this. We use a beetroot test. You take beetroot today, and the color of your stool should be darkened within 12 to 18 hours. If that is a time period it is doing, then your system is perfect. If it is delayed, means the stool passes time, means the color discoloration of your stool from the beetroot is delayed to 24 hours or more, then your bowel movements are not correct, and you should work on it. Of course, avoid smoking and alcohol, though we need not. Dehydration is one very important, especially in this summer time. All the cells, actually we are 70% water, our bodies. So all cells need a limited amount of water. If that is not, they are dehydrated, their size decreases, their enzymatic activity is not proper, and the cells start developing mutation. So water is one very essential thing as per your need, body type, working abilities, your summer exposure, कितना आप बाहर expose होते हैं to the outdoors, you need to increase your water intake to that level. The general guideline is 3 to 4 liters, but it can vary depending on your various this thing कि आप क्या activity है, कितना आपका sweating होता है. Some people do sweat a lot due to various reasons, so you have to fulfill it. A simple guideline is your urine output color should not be turned dark yellow or yellowish. If it's transparent like water, it is you are being hydrated properly. Now, why meat and animal protein is bad for you? This is a summarized this thing we will share research paper on each of the points. See, the cow milk has bovine leukemia virus. Most of our cattle is now already being infected by bovine leukemia virus. And when we see bovine leukemia virus has very similar DNA structure to the breast cancer cells. So it is being strongly implicated that taking milk is strongly related to breast cancer and various other cancers also. Also, animal products have high degree of an essential amino acid, methionine. Methionine is a very important amino acid. We all need methionine, but compared to plant-based protein, animal-based protein has 3 to 4 times than plant-based protein methionine. What does methionine do? Methionine is getting converted to homocysteine, which again is an inflammatory marker. So homocysteine, what it do is, homocysteine increase the inflammation in your endothelial surfaces, यानी कि आपकी arteries, your arteries and your blood vessels, even cardiac muscles are being inflamed chronically by this homocysteine. Also, homocysteine is considered to be a marker for early age clotting disorders, यानी कि early age cardiovascular events like heart attack and early age stroke. So it is a strong marker. So the inflammation, so when you take animal protein, your body is inflamed. आपका भी हम लोगों ने सबके टेस्ट में we have gone through CRP levels precisely to measure the inflammation level in your blood. HSCRP is heart specific CRP. That is why this whole प्रोत्साहन profile जो the blood work we do is so predictive for the diseases. अगर हम पहले ही we work on this inflammation initially, you will not develop clots, you will not develop cardiovascular event, you will not develop stroke. Also, most of the cattle and dairy product and meat right now is being produced using steroids, antibiotics and hormones, and most of this is coming from pharma industry waste products, like you have means outdated medicines, expired medicines are being sprayed as antibiotics to prevent disease, because most of the cattle and poultry are prone to many viruses and diseases and bacterial infections. And there is you have all have heard about biomagnification. Each level of food chain, all the chemicals are being biomagnified. That is precisely the reason why DDT was banned, because it has a very high magnification levels. So when a chemical enters a food chain, whenever it goes above the food chain levels, तो वो एक एनिमल ने दूसरे एनिमल को खाया and then we eat that animal, तो biomagnification is increases, they say 8 to 10 times each step on the food chain. So if you are taking plant-based protein, you are taking directly one step to the food chain, but when you are taking animal-based protein, you are few steps above on the food chain. So the biomagnification for these chemicals have increased. That is why eating meat is strongly implicated for colon cancers and various other cancers also. That is, now comes why it gives you heart disease. As I always said earlier, methionine increases your homocysteine level, the essential amino acid animal based protein में ज़्यादा है. This homocysteine causes clots and you develop heart. Also, it leads to atherosclerosis. Or what we are right now concerned more about is only cholesterol. हम सबका ध्यान रहता है we just decrease the cholesterol level by taking any lipid based medicine which have strong high serious side effects also. So if we decrease our animal product intake, we will decrease this methionine and will decrease the inflammation in our arteries and will decrease the aging. You will see with our diet you will be more agile, you will be more the dyspnea level, your breath rate will decrease even after running. You will be running more, you will be on high altitude, you can easily walk after this taking this diet, because we will be adding many such things which will be decreasing your this specific endothelial inflammation. Then obesity, of course, obesity, steroid hormones तो हाई है, उसके अलावा all the animal protein is mostly calorie dense. You have to take a whole bowl of broccoli to be equal in calories to half glass milk, which is easily gulpable. And broccoli has additional anti-cancer, sulforaphane, and then you have various minerals, vitamins, and high fiber rich diet. And milk has some amount of calcium, and you compare these things. So you are taking calorie dense food in, even if you are taking pure milk, even if you are taking pure dairy meat products, eggs and dairy products. Now, another thing, pure milk has IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1. क्या होता है ये? Insulin-like growth factor is a factor which is mostly seen in mammalian food, milk, because the calves, the newborns has of the mammals, they have to increase growth very rapidly in the initial phase of their life. So what it has, IGF-1 insulin-like growth factor, what it do is, when a calf is born, the weight is 25 to 30 kgs, and within 6 months the calf weighs around 75 to 100 kgs. So if you are taking milk, your weight cannot decrease because of this IGF-1. One. Another thing is what IGF do is it competes with insulin. इसके नाम से ही पता चल रहा है insulin like growth factor. So it competes with your insulin, natural insulin, and that is where your insulin body tends to increase the insulin level and you get into an insulin resistance phase, the metabolic syndrome. So taking milk, even if it is pure, is not advisable if you are into metabolic syndrome or diabetes. And that is where vegan diet has its own importance. Then diabetes हो गया, obesity, and then come the zoonotic disease, बहुत important. सारा दुनिया, we are all means अभी तक हम परेशान है कोविड से. Where it came from animal meat only. We don't know exactly porcupine था, bat था, but many diseases we are exposed. हर साल कितने केसेस आते हैं, स्वाइन फ्लू हो गया, then avian flu हो गया, then salmonella, typhoid, which is mostly seen from meat industry. So we save ourselves from all these diseases. आपने कभी ये सुना है कि भिंडी को वायरल हो गया था, फ्लू हो गया था तो वो हमें आ गया? Never. No animal product, no animal disease, no plant-based diseases travel to humans in any way. Even the fungus they have is easily digestible. So even the pests you see on the plants, you do not get very much of toxins there from there. And then world hunger, of course. Creating meat and animal products, even milk, consumes more than 75 times, not percent, more than 75 times the resources, the water which you need to produce. Means one person's meat will be 75 people's vegan vegetables. सोच लो आप, तो आपका vegetarian food, vegan food takes 75 times less resources from the earth. So you are actually contributing to the pollution, world hunger and global warming also by taking animal proteins. Also you can means there's an emotional aspect to this. All the dairy products is now being farmed. We do not use now ox to our farming. We use various kind of means tractors and other machinery. तो क्या होता है कि these are left, the male child is left to roam around maybe, and India is the largest beef exporter, mind you. So this is going to means sent to the various butchers and they are being exported outside India. Also the cow, when it is not it has passed its age of means reproductive age, then it is being left again to roam around in jungles and again the butchers. तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि you are not saving cows, you are actually giving sufferings to various animals you eat. तो and of course इधर यहाँ लोग बोलेंगे कि cows are being always being means cultivated in the way कि animal husbandry में हमें सिखाया जाता है, but काउ का इतना प्रोडक्शन कभी नहीं किया जाता था आर्टिफिशियली. दे डू नॉट प्रोड्यूस किड्स नाउ, मींस आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन ये दे यूज वेरियस काइंड ऑफ टेक्निक्स टू इंक्रीज द पॉपुलेशन. तो ऐसा नहीं था कि बिकॉज ऑफ दिस की तो यू आर एक्चुअली डैमेजिंग द एनवायरनमेंट इन दैट वे. नाउ कम्स टू द साइंटिफिक रिसर्च पेपर विच आई हैव ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड. सी, as I told you, bovine leukemia virus has very strong similarity with the HTLV, human T cell leukemia virus, also breast cancer cells. Methionine restriction, even cancer cells thrive on methionine. और आप देखेंगे मोस्टली अब आपके ऑन्कोलॉजी जिनकी कीमो रेडियोथेरेपी चल रही होती है, दे हैव बीन गिविंग प्रोटीन सप्लीमेंट विच हैज लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ मिथ्योनिन. तो इन स्पाइट ऑफ एक तरफ तो हम कैंसर सेल्स को मारने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वी आर यूजिंग कीमोथेरेपी रेडियोथेरेपी विच इज सीरियस साइड इफेक्ट, एंड वी आर गिविंग इन डाइट सम थिंग्स विच आर increasing the growth of cancer cells. So I don't understand the whole scenario right now with the modern medicine going around. Again, atherogenic effect of excess methionine. Methionine is mostly seen in animal protein more than plant-based proteins. So that is where it increases homocysteine level, which inflames your arteries and give you various vascular diseases. Dairy product has a lot of estrogen, insulin-like growth factor. I told you, even the pure milk. This estrogen gives you prostate cancers, gynecomastia जिसे आप male boobs बोलते हैं, and then breast cancers and various and obesity तो of course. See, IGF-1, which I told, which is present even in the purest of the milk. IGF-1, and the larger the mammal, larger the amount of IGF-1 will be. तो उससे क्या होगा कि इफ यू टेक लाइक आजकल कह भी रहे हैं ना, देयर इज अ फैट की गोट मिल्क इज हेल्दियर देन काउ मिल्क बिकॉज द साइज ऑफ द गोट इज लेस. तो आपका इंसुलिन ग्रोथ फैक्टर उसमें कम होता है. इट गिव्स यू लेसर ओबेसिटीज. So that is where it comes, and it impairs your glucose tolerance and gives you type 2 diabetes. This is a research paper from American Diabetes Association. एंड एक बड़ा फैट आजकल चल रहा है जो आप लोग सब भी फॉलो कर रहे हैं. बहुत सारे लोग आप में जिम जाते हैं तो वो प्रोटीन शेक्स भी लेते हैं, एंड ऑल दोज दिस हर्बल लाइफ एंड अदर ब्रेकफास्ट रिप्लेसमेंट शेक्स आर कमिंग अप. तो हाई प्रोटीन low carb diet is always bad for your kidney and liver. There have been numerous research papers on this. Also, see again, same thing. So it will give you metabolic syndrome if you take high protein low carb diet. There are 6 blue zones in the world. There is a book also being written on this. So these 6 blue zones are being seen कि वहां पे लोगों का they have a lifespan and health span of more than 90 years without taking any medicines and being productive, active with a very healthy lifestyle. Most of their average age is above 90. Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, even Iowa in they have Iowa in US, or many 6 blue zones are there. These 6 blue zones, what they do is they have their diet, if you see, they take 85% of their calorie intake from carbs, plant-based carb, and only 15% comes from food, fat and proteins. So a high carb, low protein diet is giving them longevity and health without living. Okay, Japanese people, you know, they live longer, healthier, with a very productive, relatable lifestyles. This study confirms a low protein, high carb diet gives you, see, 10% protein, 70% carb diet will give you longevity. It will help your liver and kidneys, because I said na, higher the protein, higher will be the toxins. Kidney and liver को ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा उनको. They have to detox things. And also by taking animal protein and decreasing our these things, herbs and plant-based food, we are missing on a very important anti-cancer protocol. Because see, this is a study. What they did is they take 8 different cancer cell lines on a petri dish, and what they did is they used 34 different vegetable juices on these 8 different cancer cells. What they found is when you take cruciferous vegetable, broccoli sprouts, cabbage, all the cabbage family plant which we do not eat, हम लोगों तो वो cabbage का कीड़ा बोल के we are not using cabbage at all. In India, I use it regularly. Even in my sauerkraut, I put cabbage definitely. And then allium family, onion, garlic, all those things, leeks. These kills cancer cells even in petri dishes. And we are decreasing our intake of this by increasing our intake of plant-based, animal-based food. So that is where this specific vegan diet helps. क्योंकि जब आप vegan diet लेते हो, and also you know कितने ये they are beneficial in terms of their decreasing your inflammation, anti-inflammatory diet which we call. And also by increasing our vegan diet, yeah, plant-based proteins and plant-based diet will naturally increase our fiber intake, which is very healthy for your gut microbiome, which is very healthy for your gut metabolism and gut mobility also. So आपको constipation नहीं होगा. Also higher soluble and insoluble fiber intake will keep you full. आपको भूख भी लंबे टाइम नहीं लगेगी, and this will also decrease your calorie intake. Also we have next webinar on next Sunday on gut microbiome health only, and you will see we'll be talking in detail about that. If you're not registered, do register for that session also. इंडिया में कोई ब्लू जोन तो है नहीं. We do not have any blue zone in India, but if you take a comparative picture of various states, so the milk producing, their diet, staple diet is milk, animal protein, eggs and non-veg. See, the incidence of stroke, incidence of heart attack are more in these states. You compare it West Bengal, Punjab, Tamil Nadu, Haryana, and compare to Mizoram, Sikkim, Meghalaya, Himachal Pradesh, where people still move more, they have very less intake of meat, and mostly they are living on these raw vegetables. So this is a very comparative study which you can easily correlate to a vegan diet being much healthier. And this is the study in the Telegraph. 98% Indian don't eat enough vegetables, as I told you. So turning to shifting to a vegan diet will help this naturally. As I already told you, drink your food, chew your water. This is very important in terms of and when to eat. Maharishi Vagbhat ne inko, because our system, our whole Protsahan program is a kind of holistic approach using various Vedic science and Vedic wisdom also. तो इसमें यही लिखा गया है कि यू ईट ओनली व्हेन प्रीवियस फूड इज बीइंग डाइजेस्टेड. इससे नहीं कि हमने लंच डिनर ब्रेकफास्ट करना ही करना है. यू हैव टू सी कि आपका प्रीवियस फूड डाइजेस्ट हो गया, ओनली देन ईट द नेक्स्ट मील. ऑल्सो यूज इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग टू cleanse your system, give rest to your organs, and it will improve your stool and urine output also. How to eat? As a mindful eating is very very important. Tanmanna bhodnaga chitta, jaisa an vaisa man, and this will also help you stay calm, stay focused, and decrease your anxiety levels if you eat mindfully. And intermittent fasting, again from Maharishi Vagbhat. इन्होंने अपनी बुक में लिखा था अष्टांग हृदय में अबाउट फास्टिंग, हाउ फास्टिंग improves your general immunity. Also, it decreases your metabolic syndrome. Intermittent fasting helps you cleanse your system, detox your system, and it's a very natural technique to decrease the calorie, decrease your calories जो आप इकट्ठी करी जा रहे हैं in your liver. Also, it has a very simple technique which easily cures fatty liver. And you should drink your water sitting and relaxed position में, because your organs are filtering them better than. How much to eat? This is important. I told you about 6 blue zones. Blue zones people what they follow is 80% rule. They eat only when they are 80% full. They keep 20% left because then they or we have a delayed satiety response due to leptin. तो हम जो खाना खाते हैं उसके 15-20 मिनट बाद ब्रेन को पता चलता है कि we are full. So that is why where we tend to overeat. So these people, the blue zones by Okinawan especially, use a technique called hara hachibu. They take only 80% of their hunger. तो उतना ही खाना खाते हैं. They use various fasting techniques also. And then we will add these green smoothies and detox water. Dr. Garima will share your recipe. Don't no need to note down anything here. She will specifically be giving you smoothies recipe which will be replacing your breakfast with. जो आजकल जैसे हर्बल लाइफ देते हैं ना, they have those are lab made chemicals of course synthetic. Will give you a natural recipes to smoothie. इसमें हम लोग क्या फायदा उठा रहे हैं? We are using various herbs which are already anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, also decreasing your clotting and decreasing your incidence for cardiovascular events and strokes. Green smoothies, this again will be shared by you, don't worry. You will get these on your specific individual diet plans. You will have the recipes. This is what I make usually at my home for my parents. So you can use any 2 to 3 green leafy vegetables, half of a fruit, then herbs like dalchini, cinnamon, turmeric. We use turmeric and pepper, black pepper has a very synergistic action. They increase their absorption maybe 100 times. So whenever you use turmeric, do use some amount of pepper with that. And rock salt is up to you. I don't put that. If you want to make it a more palatable, you can use rock salt and some water. Now see, if you take this, my daughter enjoys this. If you take this as a breakfast, I always do this. Since last 3 years, my breakfast is this only, along with some nuts, depending on your hunger and your physical activity. Nuts where you can take almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, various kinds of seeds, even sesame seeds, many seeds you can add, peanuts. So what happens is you are decreasing your flour. Initially जो आप पराठे खाते हो, you take load of breads, और जो chemically laden है and insulin resistance को बढ़ाता है. So one is this is very nutritionally dense. It has a lot of हर्ब्स विच आर एंटी डिजीजेस. आप सुबह ही अपना दिन ऐसे स्टार्ट करते हो, यू टेक लॉट ऑफ मिनरल्स एंड स्टार्ट योर डे विद. और फिर मैंने मैग्नीशियम की बात की विच नट्स हैव एंड गुड अमाउंट ऑफ फैटी एसिड्स. नट्स में बहुत प्रोटीन और फैट्स होता है जो हमारी बॉडी के लिए अच्छा होता है. तो जो हमारे नए सेल्स बनने हैं, द न्यू सेल्स आर बीइंग, दे गेट वेरी गुड अमाउंट ऑफ गुड रॉ मटेरियल, क्वालिटी रॉ मटेरियल्स. और आज जो आप ब्रेकफास्ट कर रहे हो, इफ वी रिप्लेस दिस विद इट टू सी हाउ कैन वी डिक्रीज द इंसुलिन रेजिस्टेंस. एंड उसके अलावा दिस इज अ बुक विच इज अ स्टैंडर्ड बुक ऑफ पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट लेवल. वी आई एम रीडिंग दिस फॉर माई कैंसर पेशेंट्स एंड लर्निंग दिस. तो दिस हैज अ चैप्टर ऑन द प्लेटलेट एक्टिविटी. सी द हर्ब्स मेंशन्ड हियर एंड दिस इज अ वेरी क्रेडिबल सोर्स. मतलब इतना दीज आर सो एफिकेशियस दीज हर्ब्स कि इन्होंने लिखा है कि जिनको ब्लीडिंग डिसऑर्डर है शुड नॉट टेक दिस इन देयर डाइट. So garlic is there, ginger is there, turmeric is there, then there is feverfew, there are plants, then there are chamomile, so which we will be adding, replacing your regular tea with chamomile tea. Red clover easily available right now with in terms of sprouts you can do that. Fenugreek जो आपकी मेथी है, धनिया है, all those things can be used. धनिया means people use parsley in abroad. We are using धनिया. धनिया उससे भी better है parsley भी in terms of detoxifying your liver. So these are the things which we will incorporate. See, this is the summary. Right now you are taking this diet. 70% 80% of your calories are coming from grains, dairy products, meats and eggs, and also sweeteners, artificial sweeteners or sweets. तो vegetable fruit रही कितना गया? Already सिर्फ 10%. So you have to make this pyramid upside down like this. So most of your calories should come from the things which give you good raw material for your new cells, also gives you minerals, nutrition, and also give you many things which help you fight diseases which are anti-inflammatory, जो आपके CRP levels को कम लाएगा, जो endothelial inflammation को कम करेगा. So we are using this. This is the presentation from me. I hope I made you aware about the this thing, the vegan diet, why we are shifting to vegan diet scientifically. And now I will open up the session and you can all turn on your mic and ask any query if you have, please. Yes, you can do that. यस प्लीज रीता जी बताइए.
नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब.
नमस्कार जी.
डॉक्टर साहब, चीजें तो सारी समझ में आ रही हैं. और जब लास्ट मैंने आपका ये किया था एक वेबिनार 15 दिन पहले, तो मैंने ये सब ट्राई किया. मीन्स क्या बोलते हैं उसको, इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग. लंच के बाद मैंने नहीं खाया कुछ. 4 बजे के आसपास खाया तो चीजें आ गई, मतलब काबू में. पहले क्या था, सुबह उठते ही वॉमिटिंग होती थी. अभी मैं 8 बजे तक खींच लेती हूँ.
ठीक है.
तो लेकिन फिर भी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मुझे खाने का नहीं पता है. मीन्स मुझे एक प्रॉपर वो चाहिए, डाइटिंग चार्ट चाहिए. दूसरा, मुझे ये सब चीजें बनाने का भी इतना आइडिया नहीं. जैसे स्मूदी वगैरह आपने बताई है, तो वो अगर चीजें अवेलेबल हो,
ये सब मिलेगा आपको. जैसे मैंने बोला, एक्चुअली डॉक्टर गरिमा अभी थोड़े किसी फैमिली उसकी वजह से ट्रेवल कर रही हैं. शी विल बी बैक ऑन वेडनेसडे और वो सब आप लोगों से डिटेल्ड कॉल लेंगी, 30 to 40 मिनट्स वीडियो कॉल. आपके लाइफस्टाइल को समझेंगी, आपकी काम के समय को समझेंगी. सारी बातों को देखते हुए वो एक डाइट प्लान बनाएंगी. और ये रिपोर्ट्स हम दोनों ने ही मिलके एनालाइज की हैं. जो पीपीटी आपके साथ मैंने शेयर की थी कल, वो उसी को मिला के ही, उसके हिसाब से ही आपके डाइट, आपके लाइफस्टाइल, आपके बॉडी वेट और उनको रिवर्स करने के लिए आपको डाइट दी जाएगी विद रेसिपीज. अगर हम आपको कीटो रोटी बोल रहे हैं कि आप कीटो रोटी लीजिए, तो वो कैसे कीटो रोटी बनानी है, उसके सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स सब मिलेंगे आपको इन रिटर्न फॉर्मेट. पीडीएफ फाइल दी जाएगी आपको, डोंट वरी अबाउट इट. और उसके बाद हम लोग तो हैं ही, बीच बीच में रेसिपीज हम लोग वीगन भी शेयर करते रहते हैं. जैसे हमारे घर में अब कड़ी बनती है, उसमें हम दही नहीं यूज करते. ठीक है. और स्वाद वो उस कड़ी से भी ज्यादा अच्छी लगती है. मेरी मदर भी, क्योंकि वो भी फॉलो करती हैं, तो ऐसी रेसिपीज बनाती रहती हैं. तो उसमें हम लोग इमली और बेसन का यूज करते हैं बस, और कड़ी इतनी स्वाद बनती है बिना दही के. तो ऐसी हम रेसिपीज टाइम एंड अगेन वीकली शेयर करेंगे. और अभी जो हम वीकली चैलेंज की बात करते हैं इस वीक का आप सबका चैलेंज ये है कि आप लोगों ने धीरे धीरे करके अपने किचन का जो अपना बायस्ड एटीट्यूड है टुवर्ड्स द लाइकिंग ऑफ मिल्क, की मिल्क के बिना ताकत नहीं आती, और जो नॉनवेज लेते हैं उनके लिए भी कट डाउन, डिक्रीज दैट इनटेक।
अच्छा।
ठीक है, ये आपने कट डाउन करते 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 मिनिमाइज करना है। मुझे पता है एकदम नहीं होगा, इसीलिए 3 महीने का एक इंटेंसिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम बनाया गया। तो ग्रेजुअली हम ये जाएंगे। आज का सेशन का पर्पस ये था आपको रियलाइज कराया जाए कि हम क्या मिस कर रहे हैं बाय नॉट टेकिंग दीज थिंग्स। ठीक है, एनीबडी एल्स प्लीज। यस विश्वजीत जी बताइए।
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm just trying to understand कि nowadays the vegetables and all available in market. Somehow वो जो है कहीं पे cultivate हो रहा है, कहीं दूसरे जगह पे, जैसे we have seen.
Yes.
So how shall we protect us from their
सी वो तो नहीं हो पाएगा, लेकिन ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन ईट सीजनल फूड। जैसे अभी गर्मी है, आप गोभी अगर खाओगे तो इट मस्ट बी ईदर कोल्ड स्टोरेज और इट मस्ट बी ग्रोइंग समवेयर एल्स। तो अगर कहीं और से आएगी तो इट विल बी वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, जैसे होता है आजकल गर्मियों में रेट बढ़ जाता है मशरूम्स का भी या गोभी का भी। तो इस तरह से आप इजिली जज कर सकते हो। जो चीज सस्ती मिल रही है, फ्रेश मिल रही है, वो आप लीजिए, और जो महंगी है उसको मत लीजिए। आई होप, जैसे अभी आज की डेट में ओकरा है, भिंडी है, बहुत इजीली अवेलेबल है। अब आप पालक खरीदने जाओगे गर्मी में, वो ठीक नहीं मिलेगी आपको, तो यू कैन स्विच टू चौलाई, व्हाट वी कॉल एमरंथ। नॉर्थ इंडियंस डू नॉट यूज दिस, बहुत कम यूज करते हैं। मैं अपने छत पे हमेशा लगाता हूँ गर्मियों में। इजिली ग्रोइंग एमरंथ का एक मिलेट भी बनता है, व्हेन इट मैच्योर्स इट हैज ए मिलेट। जो आप सील के लड्डू खाते हैं ना व्रत में, दैट इज मेड फ्रॉम चौलाई ओनली, उस सीड से ही बनता है। तो यू कैन यूज दिस थिंग्स, रिप्लेसेबल है, इजिली डुएबल है, ऐसा नहीं है कि इसमें होता है कुछ। ऑल्सो बीट रूट की बात करें, हम बीट रूट बहुत डालते हैं स्मूदी में। क्यों? जब अभी इन्फ्लामेशन की बात की, वी विल हैव ए सेशन नेक्स्ट मंथ ऑन कार्डियोवास्कुलर हेल्थ एंड हाइपरटेंशन, बीपी। आप अगर डेली बीट रूट जूस लेते हैं 2 बीट रूट डाल के, 15 दिन के अंदर आपका बीपी 20 पॉइंट कम आ जाता है, जिनको हाइपरटेंशन, ये मैं गारंटी देता हूँ। बट इट हैज टू बी फॉलोड विद डिसिप्लिन एंड कंसिस्टेंटली।
इसमें सर एक चीज मैं बोलना चाहूंगा। जैसे स्प्राउट्स वगैरह तो मैंने चालू कर दिया है, इट्स इम्पैक्ट इज गुड आल्सो, बिकॉज एवरी डे नाइट डिनर में मैं एक्चुअली स्प्राउट्स ही लेता हूँ। अर्लियर आई यूज्ड टू टेक ब्रेड्स, so that is a good thing that it's going to be streamlined. On the other side, I just wanted to take a opinion of yours also. My sister who is in consult with you also.
Yes.
She is along with me for this particular webinar. She wanted to understand how does it happen, because I come to my place.
Okay.
तो उनका कुछ एक वो भी vegan diet पे है. She is not taking milk and not paneer and all that. She is purely taking fruits and all. But उनका कुछ issues रहता है. So I would like to invite her to speak on this microphone.
Yeah, please,
I mean,
please.
if you can.
Yes, please.
Sir, very good morning.
Morning, Damayanti.
And
बताइए।
yes, sir. Actually, sir, what happened now? Because I'm a strictly vegetarian, as I said, and I do not, because I did all my tests, everything is perfect, but I do not know why I'm having this hydril symptom. Because I'm taking the medicines, is I think 3 months continuously.
Yes.
But in proper diet, I'm doing exercise, everything. But since yesterday night at 4 o'clock, I got the same thing. Suddenly, I got up and लगा कि top of the head something is happening. I thought कि my brain will burst. I was just sitting. I was not able to call anyone.
See your
And the same thing.
your valve, na, we have a valve at the end of esophagus and the junction of stomach.
Okay.
This valve is unidirectional. मतलब you can enter the food, but it should not come back actually, because our stomach has very strong acid, HCl होता है वहाँ पे, उसका pH 3 होता है, तो it should not come back. तो आपका वो valve weakened है. If you go for an endoscopy, you will find that.
Sir, already I have did endoscopy. I have shared with you. The minor things has been happened. So I'm just.
So we are working on the same thing with the medicine, but it will take time, and you can use yoga asana also for the same.
I'm doing, sir, because early morning With my tight schedule, I'm always try to go to bed by 11, get up 5:30, and at least I'm spending 1 hour for myself
Also,
doing
one
yoga
one
and
more thing
aerobic.
I see ki your job stress is quite high.
Yes, sir.
So I
Yes,
think
sir.
that also is giving you, because with stress we have overactive acid glands, तो acidity उससे भी बढ़ता है. तो allow,
But sir,
I have changed your medicine this time also. Allow some time. ये migraine है, but the cause is acidity only.
yes sir, acidity sir. So please, I'm just requesting because feel अभी भी कंटिन्यू कर रहा है. I have the medicines what you are suggesting I am having, but इतना बढ़ गया सर. I had pan 40, मतलब मुझे लगा कि मेरा सर फट जाएगा.
I can
So I
understand,
was
but it takes time. Migraine needs time. और आप थोड़ा सा अपना स्ट्रेस को मैनेज करने के लिए भी कुछ ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक्स यू कैन यूज.
yes, 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 yes.
ओके. हाँ जी पंकज जी
थैंक यू
बताइए.
सर, थैंक यू ब्रीदिंग टेक्निक।
हाँ नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब।
हाँ जी बताइए पंकज.
मैं ये जानना चाह रहा था कि जैसे मैं रात को 8 बजे के करीब डिनर कर लेता हूँ,
हम्म.
तो नॉर्मली मैं 10 बजे जो है ये कच्चा पेठा का
हम्म.
जूस, उसमें पुदीना, कच्ची हल्दी,
हम्म.
आंवला
हम्म.
डाल के ले सकता हूँ कि नहीं, या उससे इंटरमिटेंट फास्टिंग खराब हो जाएगी?
खराब हो जाएगी उससे. उसमें कैलोरीज है.
अच्छा, वो नहीं ले सकते?
बट उसकी जगह डिटॉक्स वाटर आपको बताया जाएगा जो डॉक्टर गरिमा आपको शेयर कर देंगे. उसमें हमें लो कैलोरी वाला लेना चाहिए. जैसे माय मोम ऑल्सो फॉलो इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग, तो वो क्या करती है, ये स्मूदी जो मैं बना रहा हूँ ये वो लेती है 1 बजे.
अच्छा, 1 बजे लेती हूँ?
हाँ, तब वो उसका पूरा फायदा उठा पा रही है.
जी जी जी। तो इसको अवॉइड करें, इसका मतलब?
अगर आपको इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग रेफर की गई है तो. अगर आपको
जी।
इंटरमीडिएट फास्टिंग नहीं करनी है तो यू कैन टेक इट अर्ली ऑल्सो.
ओके ओके ओके।
यस,
अच्छा, इन केस जैसे अगर हम पनीर को अवॉइड करना चाहते हैं तो क्या हम टोफू ले सकते हैं?
बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं. ऑल्सो आजकल आई एम वर्किंग ऑन, मतलब मैं अपने घर पे बना भी रहा हूँ अभी. टेम्पे भी बनता है बड़ा इजीली. टेम्पे उससे भी ज्यादा टेस्टी बनता है.
अच्छा, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
वेलकम. एनीवन एल्स, एनी क्वेरीज? So now you have to be means following this system, और इसके challenges को पूरा करना है अभी. तो आज का डाइट चैलेंज आपका ये, स्टार्ट डिक्रीजिंग योर डेयरी एंड एनिमल प्रोटीन्स. सबसे पहले तो आई नो बहुत लोगों को ड्रिंक्स पसंद है, चाय पसंद है, ये जस्ट टेक आउट मिल्क फर्स्ट एंड देन शुगर लेटर. तो इंस्टेड ऑफ टी यू कैन टेक ब्लैक टी, लेमन टी, ग्रीन टी, अदर थिंग्स. बिकॉज लोगों को आदत होती है, सर दर्द हो जाता है कई लोगों को टी के बिना. तो आई एम नॉट रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग योर टी इनटेक, आई एम रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग योर टी, मिल्क एंड sugar intake. You can take black tea or lemon tea, whatever you use. If you want to use sugar, you can for now, but decreasing it in a decreasing manner. By next weekend, you all will have your specific diet plans shared with you by Dr. Karim. Okay? And next session, it will be on the science of exercise. हम सबको पता है एक्सरसाइज, हम सब करते भी हैं, जानते भी हैं, जैसे दमयंती जी ने भी बताया. But we will share you द एग्जैक्ट साइंस बिहाइंड एक्सरसाइज, ताकि आप मोटिवेटेड हो. क्यों करनी है एक्सरसाइज ये आपको पता ही नहीं है अभी एक्चुअली, और कैसे करनी है एक्सरसाइज, और क्या गलतियां कर रहे हैं हम एक्सरसाइजेस में, तो वो हम शेयर करेंगे. बाय नेक्स्ट सेशन विल बी ऑन दैट. द लिंक विल बी शेयर्ड बाय मिड वीक. ओके, थैंक्स फॉर नाउ, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. एनी क्वेरीज यू कैन पुट ऑलवेज ऑन द ग्रुप विच वी हैव फॉर्म्ड. Thanks for joining. We'll be see you soon the next weekend. Bye for now.
थैंक यू।
Most.